Hello, how's it going? So today we're going to learn how to talk about our company or your company. So this lesson will give you some structures or some verbs that you can easily talk about your company and how you can use this theme, okay? So let's go.
Hi, Tim here with another 9 to 5 English lesson. In our last two lessons, we looked at how to talk about your job and your work. Today, we're going to learn how to talk about your company.
Okay, so let's see some details on the phrasal verbs and prepositions and everything. Okay, so see here in our last two lessons, in our last two, nas nossas últimas duas. So in this case, we can use the preposition in and then the possessive in our last two lessons. When you look at something. So we look at how. Então, nós olhamos, nós vimos como, né? We look at how to talk about your job and your work. Today, we're gonna learn. So this is the planning, the future. So a planned future, you use gonna. We are gonna learn how to talk about your company. So let's continue.
Well, to begin with, you can talk about what your company actually does. That's probably the most important piece of information. And when we talk about what our company does, we usually say we because that shows that we're a part of the company.
Okay, so look, to begin with, to begin with, this is a way for you to introduce any conversation or presentations. To begin with, you can talk about what your company actually does. So, o que a sua empresa na verdade faz. So, you use this verb that is to do in the third person because here we are talking about it. So, what the company does, right? That's probably the most important piece of information. So why we use piece here? Because the word information is singular. And then you need to use one piece, two pieces, three pieces. So for you to make it countable. So in this case, it's an important piece of information, all right? No plural here. Okay, only if you use two pieces, three pieces, all right? And when we talk about what our company does, we usually say we. Então, nós comumente falamos, ou geralmente falamos, nós, because that shows that we are a part of the company. Nós somos uma parte da empresa. Continuing.
Let's practice some examples of talking about your company in this way. Listen to each example, then repeat it yourself. Ready? Let's get started.
Okay.
We produce electric motors for the automobile industry.
So I would like you to repeat after that. Okay? Please, can you do it? All right. Next.
We're an OEM manufacturer for the computer industry.
Your turn. Okay.
We
Next.
develop software for the education market.
Good.
We make branded merchandise for small businesses.
You.
There are lots of other great verbs you can use, depending on what kind of work your company does.
Here, it's really important. Look, there are lots of other great verbs. So in this case, we use other, that is singular, great verbs. Okay, it's not others and another, it's singular. So in the other, when you use other, you use plural. Okay, other things, other people, All right? Lots of, muitos, né? Muitas outras formas. You can use depending on. Never forget that when you use depend, you need to use the preposition on. Depend on what kind of work your company does. You might use design, sell, or represent, or distribute to describe the company's main activity. So let's listen to this part.
You might use design, or sell, or represent, or distribute to describe the company's main activity. So that's how we explain what our company does. But what else can you mention about your company? Well, one thing you might want to talk about is your company's reputation. That means how the public or the industry think about the company. You might mention awards or distinctions which show how great the company is. Or you might say what your company is known for. And once again, pay attention to the verbs you choose.
Okay, so here are some strategies that you can use in order to show the reputation of your company. So one of them is you might mention awards. Então são os prêmios, né? As coisas distintas que mostram, né, que como a companhia, como a empresa é. So how great, como ótima a companhia é. How great the company is. Or you might say, você pode dizer o que a sua empresa é conhecida por. So, então, por qual motivo a sua empresa é conhecida, né? Por que ela é conhecida? In this case, we use lots of passive voice. So my company is known for, and then you say, okay? So let's see some of the verbs we can use here.
Let's try a little practice talking about your company's reputation. Once again, I want you to repeat the examples
Okay.
after you hear them.
My company is known for its excellent customer service.
Your turn.
We have won several awards for our advertising campaigns.
We're seen as one of the major players in our industry.
You.
Our company is rated #1 for safety and reliability.
One thing you might have noticed in those examples is what we call the passive voice. That's when we say things like is known for, and are seen as, and is rated.
So can you see here that the passive voice is used a lot when you are talking about yourself inside the company? So we use the verb to be, is, are, and then you use the past participle of the verb. Always, okay? The verb to be can be in the present, in the past, or in the future. And the main verb is in the past participle tense, okay? So, is known for, é conhecido por, are seen as, é visto como, is rated, é estimada ou pertence a uma categoria, né? Is rated. That's a useful way to talk about reputation because it shows how the company is generally seen or thought of, como geralmente é vista ou lembrada ou pensada em. Okay, next.
So, besides what your company does and its reputation, another useful bit of information is about your company's customers. To understand a company, it helps to know who its customers are.
Okay, just a little back here.
So, besides what
Okay.
your company does,
So you see, besides, this is a connector where you use to add information. So besides means além disso, além de tudo, besides what your company does and its reputation. So pay attention at this its. This is a possessive pronoun, ok? Pertence à empresa, ou seja, a sua reputação. Aqui a gente nunca vai usar o your. É its reputation because company is it, okay? Another useful bit of information, you see, another in this case is singular, uma outra ou outro. Useful, útil, né? Bit of information. Instead of piece, you can also use bit, pedacinho de informação, né? Então, aqui no singular, another useful bit of information is about your company's customers, os clientes, ok? So it helps to know who it's, de novo aqui, que pertence à empresa, né? Os clientes que pertencem à empresa, quem são eles, ok? Going to the next part.
And how can you talk about that? Well, there are a couple of ways. First, you can use an expression like, we serve or we sell to before mentioning the kinds of customers you help. Or you can start with, our customers are, and name the industry or type of customer. How about giving this a try? Listen to the examples and repeat what you hear.
Please, can you repeat?
We serve small and medium-sized businesses throughout California.
Our customers are mainly in the automobile market.
We sell mostly to large retailers like department stores.
Most of our customers are schools and universities in Europe.
Okay, so when we talk about our company, we mention what the company does, its reputation, and its customers. Now, how does this information fit into a normal conversation? Let's listen to a short dialogue. A woman is curious about David's company. Let's hear what they have to say.
Okay, so in this case, look, to talk about our company, we mentioned what the company does, its reputation, and its customers. So these three things are really important when you are describing and you are talking about your company. And an informal conversation, como que isso cabe? Como que isso entra? Então, a gente usa o verbo fit into. So, how does this information cabe? Fit into, entra, cabe, a normal conversation. So, let's see what it's happening in this dialogue. Look, a woman is curious about David's company. So, let's hear them, okay?
So, David, what exactly does your company do?
We make engines for farm and construction equipment.
Oh, really? My brother's in construction. I wonder if he's heard of you.
Yeah, he probably has. We're a major player in the industry.
Okay, let's take a look at this part. So we make engines, motores, for farm and construction equipment. Lembrando que a palavra equipment está sempre no singular. It's a singular uncountable noun, okay? My brother's in construction. Então, aqui só para dizer que ele está dentro da área de construção. A gente usa o verbo in, né? My brother is in construction. I wonder if he's heard of you. Então, eu me pergunto, será que ele já ouviu falar de você? If he has heard of you. Ficou sabendo de você? Aqui a gente usa o has heard até o momento, present perfect, ok? He probably has. So short answer, so I can use probably in the middle. Yes, he has, or he probably has. So probably fits in to the middle here. We are a major player. Nós somos concorrente assim principal in the industry. Okay. Next.
How did that sound? David started by explaining what his company does. Then, when the woman wonders if her brother knows about his company, David mentions its reputation by calling it a major player. That means it's an important or large company in its industry. Now, it's your turn to practice. We'll repeat the dialogue, but this time we'll beep out David's words. You'll have to say those parts yourself. Remember, start by mentioning what the company does. Then mention the reputation.
So, David, what exactly does your company do?
Your turn.
Oh, really? My brother's in construction. I wonder if he's heard of you.
You.
Nice work.
Very good.
So, that's how we talk about our company. And if you've looked at the past few lessons, you can now talk about your job, your work, and your company. Be sure to tune in to our next lesson when we'll start talking about likes and dislikes and ideas. Until then, so long and happy learning.
Okay, so thank you very much for your attention, and I hope you liked this lesson, and see you next time for us to practice talking about your company and using this new vocabulary, okay? Thank you so much. See you next time. Bye-bye.